off and on pretty much all day, so I didn't really feel comfortable flying the birds. So they didn't really go out much today, and I didn't really have anything to film. So I figured what I would do is I would just run through cleaning up the bird room because it's kind of a huge mess right now, and maybe just talk a little bit. You know, I spend literally hours each day talking to every single person I know about birds, and apparently that's not enough, so now I'm here. I don't even know if anyone's gonna watch this, but you know, I'm having fun posting videos and talking about birds because I have a lot of them right now. Right now, like I said, the bird room is a huge mess. I have crates over there. I usually like to, just because whenever I'm in here, I always do just like a quick crate training session with them. So having them out and about is super convenient, but I also don't like it because it makes it look a little messy in here. To clean off this stand. We're gonna replace all these papers. We had some wind in here today, and it caused all the papers to be torn up because this is just a screened little lanai area. So I'm gonna go ahead and put up all these papers and clean this up. I also have to check here. I discovered this the other day. Oh, and it did not last. So that is a hole the birds could very easily fly out of that we're gonna have to take care of tonight. Look, also this little stand, believe it or not, I replaced these papers like not even 3 days ago. They just make huge messes. Hi guys, can you say hi, birdie? Good job. I'll probably start by putting all these guys away, as much fun as it is to have them flying around and hanging out with me while I'm in here. He's playing in my hair. They are very hungry and ready for dinner, so they're gonna keep mobbing me until I give them dinner. I'm just gonna collect all the balls. See that. Alright, so now we're out of the bird room. I'm gonna go ahead and get dinner set up for the birds. I do change what they eat just depending on if we're free flying a lot or depending on the season, and just kind of the birds' behavior. So I'm always tweaking it to try and figure out what's best for them, especially just depending on whatever's going on in their life. And that's Josiah sneakily moving past. Anyways, this is kind of what we have going on right now. This is their, so we have a majority of what I give them is Tops pellets, and then I do give them a little bit of Hagen pellets as well. I use this mostly as a treat and just kind of as a reinforcer because I do like the taste of these better. I will use these as training treats when I'm training inside, and then I reserve things like seeds and nuts and fruits for when we're actually free flying outside, just because they are higher value reinforcers, whereas this is a low value reinforcer, but they do enjoy it and it does work well. I do give them just a little bit of this Tropic mix, just because it does have a little bit of seed in it, a little bit of pellet. I don't give them a ton of it, but they are smaller birds, which naturally they do need just a little bit more seeds, not a ton, and it definitely should not make up a majority of their diet. But I do think that there is a lot of, like, kind of, seed gets a bad rep, almost as it should, but it's not always bad in every situation. Like, all of my birds have this huge room to go fly around in, and they do use up a lot more calories than they would if they were just sitting in the cage. So I don't really feel too bad about giving them just like a little bit of seed at night. So now we're gonna go ahead and fill these bowls, and I'll show you how much I give of each. Like I said, a majority of what I feed them is going to be the Tops, just because this is probably the highest quality food that I have here. So I'll fill a majority of their bowl with the Tops. And then I'll add just a tiny little bit of this, just to kind of top off all their dishes. Now again, this is not what they eat for every single meal or all the time. A majority of what they eat about 50% fruits and veggies. So in the morning time, the only thing that they get is fresh chop, which is a mixture of fruits and vegetables. And then to top it off, just a tiny little pinch of this Tropic Mix. And again, I am always changing things up, just always trying to add as much variety to their diet as possible. I always try and watch closely to how much they're eating each night. So if I find that they're finishing their bowls of food completely really fast every night, I will give them a little bit more the next night, just to make sure that they're getting enough food. Where food behind, I will put a little bit less in there. Not that there's anything wrong with them having a little extra food per se. It's just, I find that if there's food left over, they don't really necessarily value the food as much, or it can kind of alter their behavior. I don't really know how to explain it, but I want them to be enriched by the food itself. I want that food to hold value for them, because when it does hold value for them, it allows me to better cater their environment to be enriching for them. So for example, if they're full and they hold no value in food, then there's no reason for them to go and forage, there's no reason for them to go like problem solve, all things that are extremely enriching for their brains, and help keep them emotionally and physically satiated being in captivity. That's the closest thing we can do to keeping them as stimulated in captivity. So managing their food properly while making sure that they're getting enough and not too much of good or bad things is really important to keeping them happy. There sees me making the food and putting it together, and he's pacing by the door. They're all very patiently waiting. This door without concern of anyone getting loose. Alright, so the bird room is all clean and it is dark now. I try and do a clean the papers at least once a week at minimum. Usually these papers will last a little bit longer than, like, say the paper underneath this cage or their food paper. So their food paper I try and change at minimum once every 2 or 3 days, just because this is where they eat. They get a lot of chop and water and stuff here, and I don't want to let that sit and gather bacteria. Every time I clean up, I collect feathers because I make earrings out of their feathers. I think it's super cool. You know, the thing that people complain about with birds is that they're a lot of work, and the truth is they are. They are a ton of work. That hyperlapse I took, I just looked, it's only like a minute 30, but that entire cleaning took me almost an hour. And that was just kind of my weekly reset. Usually I try and do like a super deep clean where I take all the birds out and I bleach in here at least once a month at minimum, just to make sure that everything is sanitary. So that is a lot of work, and you know, like I said, I hear a lot of people complain about it, but to be honest, that's kind of one of the things I enjoy about birds. I like having something to take care of. I like the responsibility. It kind of reminds me of a Zen garden where you can find joy in the work of keeping something. I don't know if that's actually what it is. I just saw a video about it one time, but I do like the act of giving these birds the best care that I possibly can and always striving to do better. I mean, there are days where I'm feeling sick or I'm not feeling good, and I wake up and I'm like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to keep working with birds, because it is a ton of work? And the answer always has been and probably always will be yes. Like, these are incredibly intelligent creatures. They are so fascinating. They teach me something new literally every single day, and I just feel absolutely so privileged that I'm able to have them in my life, and that I am able to work with them and to train them, and especially to free fly them. I find so much joy in free flying. So yeah, but anyways, that was the cage reset. I'm gonna go take a shower and cook some dinner. But if you watched it to this point, I'm really glad that you're here, and maybe I'll see you around. Thank you.